Greetings, Gibson family. I wonder how you're doing this week. Have you experienced some spirit promptings? Have you had an opportunity to run to anyone's chariot the way that we saw Philip do last Sunday? I hope that you sense the Holy Spirit at work in your heart, as I do in mine, and renewing us individually, but also renewing us together as a congregation for the Spirit service, for the kingdom, and for the gospel. I wanted to remind you really quickly today of 2 listening opportunities. Remember, we're in that listening season of our Renewal expedition. We're listening in a variety of ways on a variety of fronts. But again, I wanted to remind you of 2 specific ones. Number 1, I invited you to join with me in a communal book read of the 10-Second Rule, a book by Claire DeGraff. And I love the quote that he shares, where I don't have it in front of me, but I shared it on Sunday, and it'll be in the bulletin. But something along the lines of, do right now, do within the next 10 seconds what you feel reasonably certain Jesus is calling you to do, and do it before you forget. Something along those lines. I want to be that responsive to the Spirit in my life. I want you to be that responsive to the Spirit, that finely tuned, your antenna dialed in to the frequency of the Holy Spirit in your life, all around and within. And I think that this book will be a tool. We'll listen to what the Holy Spirit wants to teach us through the reading of this book. And so again, I want to invite and encourage all who are willing and interested. I hope that's a lot of you, all of you, to join in reading. I want to get you a copy of that book. You may certainly get your own, but I would love to get a copy for you. And as I said on Sunday, there's a sheet in the back of church in the narthex where you just add your name. Add your name to that sheet on Sunday. Let somebody know if you're not going to be there on Sunday. Let me know, and I'll be sure to add your name to the list. Would love to have you join as together as a congregation we listen as we read a book like The 10-Second Rule by Claire DeGraff. And so we'll get details out on how we're going to do that, the reading and discussing, the sharing of thoughts and what we're learning as we read that. All those details will come after the books arrive. So put your name on the list right now. Let me know, or on Sunday, add your name to that list. Don't forget, please. Join us. Join in that reading. Join me in reading that book. And I'm confident that you and I are going to be blessed. The second listening activity we're doing is something I also mentioned on Sunday if you were there. If not, here it is. The month of May, we are calling S.W.O.T month. S.W.O.T month. Not SWAT as in police, special, tactical kind of a team. No. S.W.O.T, S.W.O.T. It's an acronym, and it stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. One of the directives of the Renewal Lab is that we talk together, we have opportunity to share together as we look towards the future. What are some of the strengths of our Gibson family, of our Gibson community? Currently, maybe in the past, what have we experienced are some of the strengths that God has brought to this congregation? Secondly, what are some weaknesses? What are the weaknesses? Every congregation has weaknesses, things that we aren't particularly good at, or don't have the gift set represented, or sometimes weaknesses are a result even of some brokenness and sin. Is there any confessing that needs to happen? Is there any of that kind of brokenness that is a weakness for us as we think and move forward? And then the O is opportunities. What are the opportunities around us, both within our congregation, but then in our neighborhood, in our surrounding area? Opportunities. And then threats. What's anything that would threaten our mission in our ministry at Gibson and to our neighborhood, to Laketown Township? So each week of the first 4 in May, we're going to focus on each of those. So Sunday this week is strengths. The next week will be weaknesses. The next week will be opportunities, and the next week will be threats. Okay? So what I'm asking you to do in advance of Sunday is to just be prayerfully reflecting. What are some of the strengths that you have recognized and seen present in the Gibson congregation, both in the past but also currently? If there are certain gifts that used to be present, we can name those, certainly. But also, what are the gifts that Gibson has currently too? What are the strengths that are operating, that we see, that we experience at Gibson currently? And it's okay to be honest. We're not bragging. We're only giving praise to God for the gifts that He's given. 1 Corinthians 12, Romans 12, both speak extensively about the body and the gifts and how all are necessary and all contribute to the strength of the body, the health of the body. And so prayerfully reflect on what are the strengths and come prepared to write down any of those strengths on a sticky note that I'll have for you at church on Sunday. There'll be a table and there will be a place to post those sticky notes. So come with any strengths already in your mind. But then during the service, each week we're going to do this, we'll make that particular word, Sunday for us is going to be strengths, we're going to make that the focus of our congregational prayer time as well. And there will be time for us to listen and again for the Holy Spirit to impress upon us what are some of the strengths of Gibson Church that we just need to name, we need to acknowledge, we need to be grateful for. And then during prayer and after prayer, we're going to sing a song after prayer. But I'd love it if you would, if any other words come to mind, if any other strengths come to mind, there'll be sticky notes available again, and you can jot down more while we sing a song and post those where we're going to post those in the narthex. So each week we'll make that particular word, this week strengths, next week weaknesses, and so on. We're going to make that the focus of some prayerful reflecting during the week ahead, but then also during our congregational prayer time. And we're just going to listen to the Holy Spirit. We're going to listen to each other too as we share those things and put them on a window or put them on a piece of paper, wherever we'll stick those sticky notes where you can see them, I can see them. We'll compile them all and we'll get a master list of all of those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So those two listening activities are incredibly important for us, and I want to make sure that I wanted to remind you of that so you knew, again, we're reminded ahead of Sunday. This week we're thinking about strengths, we're prayerfully reflecting, gratefully reflecting, and then we're going to write them on sticky notes on Sunday, we'll post them, and then we'll do weaknesses the following week and so on, as I've already explained. All right. Also, don't forget, put your name on that book list. If you would like me to get you a copy of the 10-second rule, I would love to have you join us. It will be a good read and a good time, I'm confident. So I think that's all I have for you on this Wednesday. Continue to pray for this renewal expedition we're on. Pray for our personal renewal journeys, expeditions that we're on. Pray for our communal expedition that we're on. Pray for open hearts for the Spirit to lead and guide and for us to be sensitive and responsive, obedient to the Spirit. Pray for our neighbors. Pray for the Holy Spirit to orchestrate connections so that we can establish some meaningful relationships with our neighbors in Lake Town Township. Friends, again, I pray and trust you have a great day on this Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. All right? Shalom, friends.